February 22, 1914. When I was a child of about 13, for nearly a year every night, as soon as I had gone to bed, it seemed to me that I went out of my body and rose straight up above the house, then above the city, very high above. Then I used to see myself clad in a magnificent golden robe, much longer than myself, and as I rose higher, the robe would stretch, spreading out in a circle around me to form a kind of immense roof over the city. Then I would see men, women, children, old men, the sick, the unfortunate, coming out from every side. They would gather under the outspread robe, begging for help, telling of their miseries, their suffering, their hardships. In reply, the robe, supple and alive, would extend towards each one of them individually, and as soon as they had touched it, they were comforted or healed, and went back into their bodies happier and stronger than they had come out of them. Nothing seemed more beautiful to me, nothing could make me happier, and all the activities of the day seemed dull and colourless and without any real life beside this activity of the night, which was the true life for me. Often, while I was rising up in this way, I used to see at my left an old man, silent and still, who looked at me with kindly affection and encouraged me by his presence. This old man, dressed in a long dark purple robe, was the personification, as I came to know later, of him who is called the Man of Sorrows. Now, that deep experience, that almost inexpressible reality, is translated in my mind by other ideas, which I may describe in this way. Many a time in the day and night, it seems to me that I am, or rather my consciousness is, concentrated entirely in my heart, which is no longer an organ, not even a feeling, but the divine love, impersonal, eternal. And being this love, I feel myself living at the center of each thing upon the entire earth. And at the same time, I seem to stretch out immense, infinite arms and envelop with a boundless tenderness all beings, clasped, gathered, nestled on my breast, that is vaster than the universe. Words are poor and clumsy, O Divine Master, and mental transcriptions are always childish. But my aspiration to Thee is constant, and truly speaking, it is very often Thou, and Thou alone who livest in this body, this imperfect means of manifesting Thee. May all beings be happy in the peace of Thy illumination. February 23, 1914. Grant, O Lord, that we may be more and more conscious of Thy law, that is, be one with it, so that we may foster its manifestation in all things. Lord, grant that I may become master of my vagabond thought, that living in Thee I may see life only through Thee, and the illusion of material reality may come to an end and be replaced by a perception more in conformity with Thy eternal reality. Let me live constantly in Thy divine love, so that it may live in me and through me. Grant that I may be an efficient and clear-sighted collaborator, and that everything within me may foster the plenitude of Thy manifestation. I know all my imperfections, my difficulties, my weaknesses. I feel all my ignorance, but I put my full trust in Thee and bow down before Thee in silent devotion. February 25 and 26, 1914. He who wants to serve Thee worthily should not be attached to anything, not even to those activities which enable him to commune more consciously with Thee. But if as a result of the totality of circumstances, material things still take a greater place in life than usual, one must know how not to become absorbed by them, how to keep in one's inmost heart the clear vision of Thy presence, and live constantly in that serene peace which nothing can disturb. Oh, to do everything, seeing only Thee everywhere, and thus soar above the act that has been carried out, without letting any chain that holds us prisoners to the earth burden our flight. O Lord, grant that the offering I make to Thee of my being may be integral and effective. With a respectful and loving devotion, I bow down before Thee, O ineffable essence, inconceivable reality, nameless one. February 27, 1914. O Lord, I sense the infinite happiness which is the portion of those whose life is entirely consecrated to Thee. And this does not depend upon outer circumstances, but on one's own state of being and its greater or lesser degree of illumination. A perfect consecration to Thy law cannot but bring about modifications in the totality of circumstances. Yet it is not these which make possible and express this perfect consecration. I mean that it is not under certain circumstances always the same for all that Thy law is manifested. For every one, this manifestation is different according to his temperament, that is, according to the mission which for the moment is assigned to him in physical life. But what is unchangeable and universal is the happy peace, the luminous and immutable serenity of all those who are solely consecrated to Thee, who no longer have any darkness, ignorance, egoistic attachment or bad will in them. Oh, may all awake to this divine peace.